What's up, gamers? We are back with some more modern action. This time it's going to be Amulet Titan versus Boros Energy here. Very excited for this one. Like I said, we've gotten a lot in the queue related to Amulet Titan. So if you want to see more of these types of decks or other decks in Modern, make sure you're subscribing. It's great to be able to see our twice a week content that we've got going on. Also, for anybody that wants to show even additional support, there's links in the description that you could be able to become a super member of the channel, get access to special emotes, things like that. You know, I don't talk about it very much, but we did hit the milestone that we can start doing that, and we're getting closer and closer to the 1,000 mark that our big goal that we're trying to kind of reach. I don't know if we're going to reach it by the end of the year, but it's October right now, so we got a couple months left. We're 800 and something right now. Where are we at? 850 something. Who knows where we're at, but we're getting close. We're getting closer. So right now you're seeing the start of an Amulet of Vigor already turn 1, and that's that. If you've played against this deck like I have many times, you know just how scary things are about to get once the Amulet player is allowed to start untapping and powering up. We might even see like the delay wait. Okay, a second Amulet comes out off of the Ursa Saga, and essentially going to be seeing like a turn 3, turn 4 super pop off here. We'll see if the Boros Energy has the burst damage to kind of deal with it. Having a Guide of Souls and an Ajani to follow up is really powerful. Have the potential to push for damage here. We'll see if that's the case, because we have our 3 energy. Of course, the way Guide of Souls works is you put 2 +1 counters on target creature and a flying counter. So evasion gets pushed for damage. We don't push for it here. I guess we're going to follow it up before. Oh, hey, talk about a second Amulet right there. Our Microsynth is going to become a copy of our Amulet. So it looks like we're going for 3 Amulets. Let's really go off on turn 3 here. So that's kind of the build up here. Like, if you're seeing the increase in number of Amulet of Vigors, you know that it's going to be a really explosive, really powerful turn here. Apologize for the random camera bumps. We're still getting used to the double recording happening, and as certain players slam their decks down on the table, you get that kind of initial camera shake there, as we are still working on improving and updating our recording setup here. But a big part of it is we bring our recording equipment to record our weeklies at our LGS. So if you guys are interested in getting on camera, if you're ever in the Winchester area, come out and play at Comet Kung Fu. But let's talk a little bit more about this match, because we got a Flage dropping down here. So that'll, of course, be the Lightning Helix ETB effect. We'll get some energy. We'll blast 3 damage, gain 3 life, and kind of set ourselves up here. But is it going to be enough, knowing that there is going to be a huge explosion next turn? We will see. Now, boom, there's the big push. Also, for people that are listening or watching at this moment, we do have our podcast that we're going to be having a ramp up of content coming out very soon, where we're going to start interviewing MTG content creators, pro players, as well as other kind of people that I'm interested in interviewing. Just going to be practicing some of our interview skills soon. So we've got our first interview episode is going to be dropping in November. So November 2nd. Like I mentioned, that if you are one of those super members, you will get access to episodes, not only our weekly episodes for Modern Gameplay, but also interview episodes that we're going to start popping up in the near future. So keep an eye out for that coming up in November. But here's the big turn. Let's see how much can we do here? What's the big payoff that we're going for? We'll start seeing some boom, boom, boom. He says, okay, we'll leave this on tap. Here's how this is going to work. Dryad of Elysium Grove, which makes things very scary, very dangerous here. You know, an enchantment creature that makes your lands be able to tap for any color. Let's explore, though. Draw a card. Get to play an extra land this turn. They're fixing what is green, what's blue, and a little bit of discussion about the floating mana and stuff like that, but that's irrelevant here, because we're going to be popping off. So far, I've played 2 spells this turn. Storm count 2. there's the Titan. ETB trigger, just like all the other Titans. All right, we're going to be able to search up for 2 land cards, put them onto the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle. But we have 3 of the amulets, so it's going to get crazy quickly. So, yeah, here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Set some dice aside so we can be able to generate a bunch of mana here. There we go. That's all right. So here's land number 1. And the way that this is setting up is we're killing this turn, right? The defeat is about to happen. It's imminent. We've got our Mirror Pool. We've got our Valakut. So, of course, these are all basic land types. So these are mountains that are entering. We still need more mountains to start triggering off the Valakut. But with all this mana that we've got floating, we can make a copy of our Amulet Titan using Mirror Pool. So, boom, untap, tap, boom, boom, boom. Start manipulating the colors that we're getting because of the filter of the Dryad. And now it's the conversation of, okay, how much mana? Because you said this dice represented this color, and now this dice represents that color. Just want to confirm which color represents which one. It doesn't really, matter too much in the case because of how much mana is able to produce off the number of amulets, but there's the Mirror Pool that we will be able to sacrifice it to create a token copy of target creature. So you need 5 mana, one of which is a colorless to be able to do that. And of course, Mirror Pool can tap for colorless, so you can make a copy of our Primeval Titan and get 2 more land triggers here. Now we can go find the ones that will give our creatures haste and be able to finish off the game here. So this is a really good first game here to just kind of, okay, straightforward lines. We're just get enough amulets and win. All right. If you have enough amulets out, you're going to be able to find the win here. Vesuv is going to come in. We'll make some copies. We also have got our ability to get haste. And now we can be able to kind of push in. Like, Amulet does have a lot of toolboxiness with it, with the lands that you can get and the lines that you can go for to try to get that victory. Like, whether you're going to do stuff like this with Valakut, or are you going to do something with some more shenanigans and get trample, get haste, right? There's Kessick Wolf Run styles. So it's like really just kind of trying to define the way to go. Hey, give it haste, untap, give this haste, right? Give all the things haste. And move to combat soon. Oh, just kidding. Aftermath Analyst. So a lot of lists are been playing this as a way to just be like, we're running 30-some lands in the deck. Why would we not sit here and get land loops, right? We could be able to sit here and continually go through and do loops of the lands that we have, like the Lotus Field combos and things like that. I don't know if this specific list is running that, but it's still a very cool list of more straightforward, more traditional style of how Amulet works. And yeah, so here's the combat. We're going to be able to get 4 lands, so that will start being able to get some triggers going off here. This is 8 times 3. We're going to be hitting 24 triggers of Valakut. Bing, 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 bing. Which, that Flage getting to 23, not going to be enough. Plus, that doesn't even count the Titans coming across. But now we're going into a game number 2 here. Quick game 1, 9 minutes in, jumped through, cut off all that sideboarding action. But again, we're going to be kind of trying to find ways to disrupt what the Amulet player is going for. In this case, looking for things that will disrupt their mana base or disrupt them being able to play a bunch of cards. We saw they, when we were counting like that storm count or whatever, right? The amount they were played like 4 or 5 spells in one turn. So it's one of those that, okay, Dampening Sphere pulls double duty of both reducing the amount of mana that you can produce from your double lands, but also limits what you can play in one turn. So we'll see. All right, players discussing whether to keep. We've got the I think this is the one land keep maybe. Our Boros Energy players feeling greedy. But an Ocelot Pride is a great way to start things off. First strike, life link. It does have that ability that when you gain life this turn, you create a 1/1 cat creature token. Then if you have the City's Blessing, for each token that you control that entered the battlefield this turn, create a token that's a copy of it. All right, Cavern of Souls. And we get the beast name here just so we can make sure that he gets in the Grazer right off the bat. And that's perfectly fine. Like a lot of times players will name, Giant or things like that so they can be able to get their Titan. But we don't have to worry so much because we can want to be able to get out our Urza Saga immediately. Plus we run Bounce Land. So if we need to use that later on as a different color source or to be able to cast something for free, we can. But here's the second Ocelot Pride. So let's move to combat. We got a blocker here. Gain some life. Still make a token. So the block, yes, I guess keeps our life total healthy, but we are still worried and still have to be careful about the swarm that is going to be built up here. We're going for the go wide strategy and try to build up. But again, it's one land right now. Ooh, did you see the finger counts? Every time a player is doing that, I always get nervous. Anytime that you're playing against some sort of combo-y based deck, Titan is a land-based combo deck. Let's not get it twisted. That's, you use creatures to help you get to that point, but it all cares about the lands. We do get the land, though. The Boros Energy player does. We get their shifting woodlands coming in here. Could become very dangerous later on to make a copy of a creature in the graveyard. All right, getting the shock for our, of course, Boros land, Sacred Foundry, if you will. How much life are we going to gain? At least 2. What else are we getting? Oh, the Dampening Sphere. So we did get some sideboard cards. So that's another reason why to keep that hand. Boom, big attacks. 3 damage sneaks through. We gain 2 life. Make 2 more cats. So we are up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 total permanents. We need 10 to get that City's Blessing to really swarm out here. And our goal with this deck is to just try to go as wide as possible. Dampening Sphere is nice because it delays our opponent from being able to do the scary stuff that they want to do. Ooh, that's a nice pick here. Haywire Might gets off, so we're not getting an Amulet. We need to make sure that we can fight through what our opponent is trying to set up, and the hate is there. So we're going to gain some life off this Haywire Might and be able to position ourselves in a good spot. Haywire Might's great to bring in from the board. If you only have like 1 in the main board or 0 in the main board, bring them in because your opponent is going to be running things like Dampening Sphere. They're also going to be running things like our enchantment that removes stuff that I can't remember off the top of my head what it is. One that you have to pay energy into. And, occasionally you'll see some other enchantments and artifacts. So it's pretty good. But okay, that's a pretty good turn. Hey, let's start casting a bunch of spells now the Dampening Sphere is gone. We've got Amulet of Vigor out as well as the One Ring. So this blanket protection is really nice because we're in this go wide mode trying to stop our opponent. And now we have this like scary mode here that we're going to be trying to fight for. Well, we got another land though. Arena of Glory. You can exert it to give a creature haste. You also get to get double red off of it. Oh, a Blood Moon. That'll do. That'll do. Put a stop. Hey, that's cool that you want to play all these bounce lands. What if you only have access to mountains right now? And one way that the deck can deal with Blood Moon is to get a Dryad. All right, if they get access to green, they can be able to get a Dryad of Elysium Grove, and then it goes, hey, those mountains are now everything. Ooh, the map is one way to do that. Go find our basic forest. All right, things slow down a bit here. We're in this grindy mode. One ring will do that, like put a halt on what the game plan was for a bit. Just counting up and like, all right, confirming that we're still at 9. We're at 10 now, so now we'll be at 11. There's the Static Prism. That was the enchantment we were talking about. Static Prism to steal away and delay is great here. You might go, oh, why not get the amulet? Because we don't care about the amulet right now. Because, you know, the Blood Moon is basically nullifying the use of the amulet. But stopping our opponent from being able to get a Dryad of Elysium Grove is very important. All right, let's see. Building up our cat army here. So Galvanic Discharge in hand. You know, I don't think we need to worry about using that at the moment. Like, yeah, we're less worried about it. So we're going to do some Bloxies, take some damage here, gain 2 life, and we're going to make a lot of cats. So the way things are going to work trigger-wise is, he says, I'm going to make 4 cats. Yes, but no. It becomes weird, right? Yes, the players are confirming the way it works is, so the Ocelot Pride is checking, goes, hey, you make a token, right? Because you were able to gain life. Awesome. And then they check to see how many tokens entered this turn. So it's like, let's just going to expand that number even more. So we made 6 tokens in that one turn. Unless the math is off for that. But I'm pretty sure, so one of them makes 1, the other one makes 1. It saw 2 enter, so it's going to make 2. It saw 2 enter, so it's going to make 2. Right? It triggers that. Or is it going to like, one sees one sees the other? I don't know if you can stack them that way, that it's like, it's going to check state-based effects or not and be like, how many entered this turn? Oh, look, 2 more entered since last time. Now you're going to make more? I don't think that works that way, but ooh, an Aftermath Analyst comes out here. A 1/3, it gets to start milling some stuff. That forest is nice, but we don't find any additional stuff, and dropping to 11 life, we know that we're not going to be able to continue to fight through this, so we have to kind of tap it out, and tying things up 1-1 here. Titan versus Boros Energy, but we will be on the play as an Amulet player going into game 3. We won on game 1 by having access to that turn 1 Amulet, and let's see if it's going to be something similar here for game 3. Ocelot Pride. Oh, was that the 1 ring that got put on the bottom? Makes a man. Oh, no. A turn 1 amulet again. All right, let's see how well we can fight through this. It's not a Urza Saga into it this time, which basically set us up for 3 amulets. All right, so we'll see. And Ocelot Pride, great start, similar to what we saw last time. Okay, some Surveil lands happening. Of course, that will untap. Sophie's coming to help commentate. she's very good at waiting till the commentary kicks in. It's like, oh, you're talking to the camera? Yes, I would love to come talk to the camera. Let's go let the people know what's up. A dampening sphere here. Again, trying to put the slow down, push for damage, make some tokens. Hello, Sophie. All right, there's our first cat. Gain some life. Let's see what this turn 3 looks like here. Dampening sphere does slow things down a lot. Untap. We got 1 mana floating. Now we have 2 mana floating. Woohoo! Whoa! Check this out. Alright, so Radiant Flame deals X damage to each creature, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast it. So in this case, we are putting a red and a green and colorless into it. So 2 mana, 2 damage to everything. Alright, so stopping the onslaught of tokens is really nice. A nice little sideboard card. I like that Radiant Flame a lot because you have so many ways to generate different mana sources, and like you can make that pretty big and take out a lot of things if you need to. Okay, that's not a bad find off of Amped Raptor. We get to stop the One Ring here. Or not the One Ring. We get to stop the Amulet here. And it says you got to pay 1 mana for that because the Dampening Sphere is out, which makes sense. So we will be able to respond to that. We have that fetch land that we can go find a land of choice. So Boros Energy, very, very aggressive, very, very efficient. I mean, there's a reason it's like 20% of the meta right now because of how fast it is. It is a go wide strategy, relying on things like your Ocelot Prides, your Amp Raptors, things like that to be able to kind of go wide. You finish out the game with things like Flage, with a Johnny, right? So it gets refilling its hand with the One Ring now. Like, it's a good deck. I wonder what they're going to do come December to deal with it. It's like something from it has to go. I don't know what that is yet. All right, where are we? We're just kind of like in this weird delay mode now of like trying to set up and piece together something, right? Let's return that to our hand. Do we got anything else to follow it up? Ooh, a Beseiju who endures is nice. Let's force our opponent to get some ramping going, and we'll put in a stop to their Dampening Sphere. Yeah, so it is a basic type. So you don't just have to get a basic land. You can be able to get your Surveil land. You can get a Shock land. You get all of the goodies there. Surveil land is very nice. Look at our top card. Get rid of the things we don't need. Yeah, you can see the, like, as soon as the deck hits the table, we get hit with that little shaky cam for a sec. Doing Surveilling first. 2 lands in hand. Another land on the top. Oh my gosh. We're already up to 4, so that's essentially 7 lands that we've seen. Plus the additional. Let's see, what do we got here? Of course, we'll play our land for turn. Debating which one. Do we pay the 2? Maybe. Does it matter? Maybe not. Push for damage. This is scary. All right, so I mean, the longer the game goes on, without like a clear pressure, like serious pressure. A two attack from an Amp Raptor is not serious pressure, right? It's like being attacked by a Snapcaster Mage. We're not okay. Sure, I'll take 2. Eventually, it'll add up. For the time being, though, the longer the game goes on, the Amulet Titan has scarier live draws than the Boros Energy player does. With some exceptions, like a Flage off the top here could be huge, right? Do a Helix swing and then immediately go into some big power. Prime time, though, we're just going to hard cast this right out. No Amulet of Vigor to help really get the crazy explosiveness that the deck is known for, but at least we get to kind of set ourselves up here with a nice kind of line of, all right, we're building up for a win. We don't have it yet, but we want to build towards it. Okay, Cruel Turf, Boseiju. Of course, Boseiju can go back to our hand. Boom, boom, boom. Get some more flexibility here. All right, what do we got? Let's pay that energy to keep your amulet in check and at least keep it exiled. Another land. So many lands. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Hey, an Amp Raptor. We'll take that. Help get us some more threats out here. Land. Oh, Blood Moon. No. And they do get exiled. Yeah, we needed something like a Flage or something. On a Johnny. Something to help us, like, you know, set ourselves up here. That hurt. All right. 2 Amped Raptors versus an Amulet, or a Primeval Titan. I always want to say an Amulet Titan, but part of that is like the words are right there on the screen. All right, combat. Let's push, get 2 more lands. I mean, do we start getting the Valakuts and doing stuff like that now? Like, are we trying to go for that line? No, we get 2 Forest here. Interesting. Declare blockers before damage. Here's a Lightning Bolt. And we've got our first strike off of our Amped Raptors, so that trade works out very well there. But hey, guess what? Kill one, there's another one. He says, why am I cutting this deck? You're got to go get lands. He said, is this good? Yes, I handed you your deck. Go find your lands. Yeah. So we're seeing different arts for the Primeval Titans. How do you guys, like, spice up your Primeval Titan decks? Like, are you doing different arts for your Dryads, different arts for your Titans? I mean, the big thing the deck has is lands. Like, do you go for the foils? How do you spice up your deck? All right, we need something. Oh, I was going to say we need something big. We need a 1 ring. We need something here to stabilize a little bit more, but we're going to be finding another land. I really like our Boros Energy players playmat. I mean, I like both playmats, right? Not it was a design mistake as you know, that is so good. But it's also just like the art on the energy player's side is sweet. What is that art? Who knows? Someone tell me what that art's from. It kind of reminds me of Azusa, but I don't know. There's so many Magic cards now that it's like my knowledge used to be like you could show me the art from a card and I could be like, oh, it does this. I might not be able to tell you what the name of that card is, but I can tell you exactly what that card does. Nowadays, my knowledge of cards has gotten better, but I still forget the names of things all the time. All right, what do we got? What else do we got? Anything good in hand? Looking at our graveyard, so maybe we have a Flage? Not exerted. Oh, no. Goblin Bombardment. Goblin Bombardment's cool. I guess there's a world where you kill the amulet here, or not the amulet, the prime time, right? You could block after the first strike damage, and then bombard and kill it off. But with a Beseiju, it doesn't really matter. They said, hey, you look like you like lands. You already have so many on the battlefield. What if you had another one? This is the most lands I've seen from a Boros Energy player ever. I don't know. Is there a window to respond between first strike and regular damage? Oh, 3 amulets? Yeah, okay. Right. Yep. We're just gonna mirror what we did in game 1, y'all. It took us a while to get there, but we're going the same line. Here's 3 amulets. We've got a mirror pool. Let's untap, let's tap, let's untap, let's tap. Let's generate. I've got a shifting wood. There's another Titan. Mirror pool. Copy. Go get 2 lands. He says it's different this time. I swear. No, nope. Looks like the same line to me. I don't know if anybody else was watching game 1 and watching now. 2 Titans with mirror pool copy of. We've got 3 amulets. Yeah, looks like the same. It just took us a longer time to get there, but. All right, so someone let me know in a comment about the Goblin Bombardment. I get so lost in the sauce when it comes to combat with first strike and double strikes and stuff like that. I just don't know if there's a window of responding after first strike damage where you can be able to Goblin Bombardment and kill off your creatures. Might not be able to. That would be really cool if you could, though. Like weird combat tricks that people would not be prepared or expect. Boom, boom, boom. Let's untap. Let's tap. Let's do this. We're going to transmute. In case you had forgotten, we're just going to go find ourselves up. He says, just kidding. I'm shortcutting too much. I'm going to get this Summoner's Pact, and now I will go get another Primeval Titan, which I will be able to cast. If the first 2 were not scary enough, don't worry. It is a different line because now I have 3 to match all of my Amulet of Vigor that I've got out. He says, I also have enough mana to turn this Shifting Woodlands into the other Titan that you might have killed earlier. So in case you're wondering, still have all these with this amulet deck in case the first 3 didn't kill you. Oh my gosh. Yeah, look at all those lands. What the heck? Oh, that hurts. But that's, we got to see the Disruption come out, right? We got to see the Blood Moons. We got to see the Dampening Sphere. Those are great cards to try to fight against the Amulet Titan player. Makes it really tough. I mean, we were really hoping to see. So this is the interesting thing. The Boros Energy player sided out 2 One Rings here. I mean, in this game, it would have been great, but I can see. I don't know. I think it's like on the play. I can see why you want to take it off or take them out if you want to just go really fast, right? But game 1 and game 3, being able to have access to it might be more beneficial, especially if it goes longer. But you never know, right? That's the problem with Amulet is like, especially with a turn 1 Amulet, they could just go off and you just die. But I don't know. Very cool stuff. We've got plenty of other games coming up. Remember, every Monday and Thursday, we also got cool interviews coming out once a month starting out in November. So keep your eyes out for all that exciting stuff. But that's going to do it for us here today. Thanks so much for tuning in and watching, everybody. And I'll see you all next game.